Sam C. Sam C. Hey guys, here we go. We got story time with Dora. Where are we going today, Sam C? Well, the story is Journey to the Center of the Earth, Part 13. Well, Chapter 13. Well, actually, it's Chapter 12. We got a little bit left, but it's so close we're going to call it Chapter 13. So where are we starting now? We're just south of Hannigan Meadow, and we're going to head on down the road over to another trailhead and a little turnaround place for vehicles that are too long. You can turn around, and it is advised that you turn around. So let's take a peek at this little drive here. It's just so darn pretty, and I don't think we run into any kind of snafus or anything today. So let's just get to this story. So we're wrapping up chapter 12. So I'll just finish it up. I think we picked it up that they had 1,500 feet of elevation gain left to go, and Hans said they gotta, you can't stay on the side of the mountain at night. So off they went, zigzagging away, and it was at least 3 leagues. I never felt such misery, fatigue, and exhaustion in my life. I was ready to faint from hunger and cold. The rarefied air... No, hang on. I keep calling it rarefied. Oh, it is right. Rarefied air at the same time painfully acted upon my lungs. At last, when I thought to myself at my last gasp, about 11 at night, it being in that region quite dark, we reached the summit of Mount Sneffels. It was an awful mood of mind that, despite my fatigue, before I descended into the crater that was to shelter us for the night, I paused to behold the sunrise at midnight on the very day of its lowest declination. A declination, that's not the word that they're trying to sell me. It's declension. And enjoyed the spectacle of its ghastly pale rays cast upon the isle which lay sleeping at our feet. Oh, kind of like this little drive. This 191, this Coronado trail, oh boy, you could spend months just easily. There's so many places to just check out, so many little rivers. You could go fishing and camping, and you would not hardly see people very often. It is one of the best areas in Arizona, and don't go there. It's horrible. Don't even think about it. It'll be so no good. Look at it. It's hideous. Okay, plays and cast upon the isle sleeping at our feet. I no longer wondered at people traveling all the way from England to Norway to behold this magical and wondrous spectacle. All right, that's chapter 12. We got through it. Let's get to chapter 13 before we end up running out of space over here, too. Chapter 13, The Shadow of Scartaris. Oh, that's right. They got to find a particular little shadow on a particular day that's going to point to a particular little spot that they got to go into the earth. Oh man, my book is falling apart. Boy, it's a good time. It's the last time I'm going to read this one. Our supper was eaten with ease and rapidity, after which everybody did the best he could for himself within the hollow of the crater. The bed was hard, the shelter unsatisfactory, the situation painful, lying in the open air, 5,000 feet above the level of the sea. Nevertheless, it has seldom happened to me to sleep so well as I did on that particular night. I did not even dream, so much for the effects of what my uncle called wholesome fatigue. Next day, when we awoke under the rays of a bright and glorious sun, we were nearly frozen by the keen air. I left my granite couch and made one of the party to enjoy a view of the magnificent spectacle which developed itself, panorama-like, at our feet. Yeah, I'm trying to chew that up. Let's take a look at this drive a little bit. I know what's coming up. There's another little campground area. I think it's called Horse Thief or something like that. And like I say, holy cow, there's a lot of nice little spots along here. None of them are developed or anything, and I wouldn't even go into some of them with Dora, the little van. But if you got a half-ass decent vehicle, any SUV or pickup truck, no problem. But heck, even a Prius could go in there, or a Saturn, for crying out loud. We saw a Saturn going on the four-wheel drive roads in Moab once. Okay, but the point is, on a Prius, you could go in there, and if you drag bottom, no big deal, right? It's made for it. Little Dora, the little Winnebago camper bee van thingy, van life, you drag bottom on that one, you could be dropping Doogie all over the campground, or just everywhere on the road. So you don't want to drag the bottom, and yeah, it happens. Okay, panorama-like at our feet, I stood upon the lofty summit of Mount Sneffels, southern peak. Thence I was able to obtain a view of the greater part of the island. The optical delusion common to all lofty heights raised the shores of the island, while the central portion appeared depressed. It was by no means too great a flight of fancy to believe that a giant picture was stretched out before me. I could see the deep valleys that crossed each other in every direction. I could see precipices looking like sides of wells, lakes that seemed to be changed into ponds that looked like puddles, and rivers that were transformed into petty brooks. To my right were glaciers upon glaciers, and multiplied peaks topped with light clouds of smoke. The undulation of these infinite number of mountains, whose snowy summits make them look as if covered by foam, recalled to my remembrance the surface of a storm-beaten ocean. If I looked toward the west, the ocean lay before me in all its majestic grandeur, a continuation, as it were, of these fleecy hilltops. Where the earth ended and the sea began, it was impossible for the eye to distinguish. I soon felt that strange and mysterious sensation which is awakened in the mind when... Oh, let's take a look. See, I think we're here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is this little campground thingy, and I stay here, and I think I'll probably drop a few pictures in there. And it's a real pretty little spot, of course. We don't ever go and stay in no garbage dumps, and that's also a good thing. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll get back to it again here. I soon felt that strange sensation and mysterious sensation which is awakened in the mind when looking down from lofty hilltops, and now I was able to do so without my feeling of nervousness, having fortunately hardened myself to that kind of sublime contemplation. I wholly forgot who I was and where I was. I became intoxicated with a sense of lofty sublimity.
You know how I said there was no drama? Check this out. Look at these loons. Hey, Dobie, get out of the way. Dumbass. Yeah, watch this here now. It's like, hey, stop. Hey, not Forrest. Quit running. This one here, he just won't give it up. I got, little van, I put my foot to the floor and the damn cow out accelerated me. Ha ha. All right, let's get back to it.
Into which my daring was soon about to plunge. I was presently, however, brought back to the realities of life by the arrival of the professor and Hans, who joined me upon the lofty summit of the peak. My uncle, turning in a westerly direction, pointed out to me a light cloud of vapor, a kind of haze, with a faint outline of land rising out of the waters. "Greenland," said he. "Greenland?" cried I in reply. "Yes," continued my uncle, who always, when explaining anything, spoke as if he were in a professor's chair. "We are not more than 35 leagues distant from that wonderful land. When the great annual breakup of the ice takes place, white bears come over to Iceland, carried by the floating masses of the ice from the north. This, however, is a matter of little consequence. We are now on the summit of the great transcendent Sneffels, and here are its two peaks, north and south. Hans will tell you by the name by which the people of Iceland call that on which we stand." My uncle turned to the imperturbable guide, who nodded and spoke as usual. One word: "Scartaris." My uncle looked at me with a proud and triumphant glance. "A crater?" he said. "You hear?" I did hear, but I was totally unable to make reply. The crater of Mount Sneffels represented an inverted cone, the gaping orifice apparently half a mile across, the depth indefinite feet. Conceive that what this hole must have been like when full of flame and thunder and lightning. The bottom of the funnel-shaped hollow was about 500 feet in circumference, by which it will be seen that the slope from the summit to the bottom of this very gradual, and we were therefore clearly able to get there without much fatigue or difficulty. Involuntarily, I compared this crater to an enormous loaded cannon, and the comparison completely terrified me. Let's take a look at this little drive. We must be getting kind of close to wrapping this thing up here. Oh, we got a little bit, not much left, but we got a little bit. So let's get another paragraph or two in here. Completely terrified me. To descend into the interior of a cannon, I thought to myself, when perhaps it is loaded and will go off at the least shock, is the act of a madman. But there was no longer any opportunity for me to hesitate. Hans, with a perfectly calm and indifferent air, took his usual post at the head of the adventurous little band. I followed without uttering a syllable. I felt like the lamb led to slaughter. Oh, I think we're getting awfully close to the end of this thing. Oh yeah, here it is right here. So we'll just kind of knock it off right there. Let me mark it in my book so I can find it. Lamb to a slaughter. All right, well, I should be able to find that one. Yeah, this is the last little place here. They give you a warning to turn around. The mining area over there, they got a low clearance and there's some tight turns and stuff, and that's why they kind of recommend that you don't go any further than this if you got a big old vehicle. Little van, no problemo. All right, guys. Wow, that was a good little ride. We're going to do this whole thing, this journey to the center of the earth thing, and we're going to end up, well, we're going to for sure get to the Morenci mine. And it's a big old hole in the earth. So there you go. Sam C. And we'll let you have just a little bit of Rosie. All right, guys.